Hey guys, hope you're doing well. As you can tell from the title of this video, I'm just going to be giving away everything from A to Z on how I scaled my consulting business to collect over $126,000 in the last 6 months at the age of 20. So I'm Tuda Lin. I'm the founder and owner of the company Ave Crew, which is a consulting business to help online coaches and marketing agency owners. So make sure you guys watch this video in full because I'm going to be breaking down everything, like from my offer, acquisition, like how my meta ads are even set up, appointment setting, like my team breakdown, how I fulfill at scale, and the structure that I use to work only like 2 to 3 hours a day. So basically just everything. I'm going to share my screen and let's just dive straight in. All right, welcome back guys. So basically here I'm going to be breaking down exactly how I scaled the consulting business to collect over $126,000 at the age of 20. Here's like the offer that won. I'll basically be going through all of this, right? My offer, my ad structure settings, like lead form automations, my appointment setting, team breakdown, everything. Here's the proof. That way you guys can know. There's the proof in pudding. This is in July 1st, 2025, last year, and December 31st, 2025, I collected over $126,000 here. Anyways, we're on Fanbases, which is our payment processor. Derek Rodriguez, that's my business partner. So this is 126,000, right, from July to December 31st. I'll just refresh the page. That way you guys can see everything. Let's go to July 1st and then December 31st. There we go. So this is the last 6 months, right? We collected over $126,000. Obviously, you guys can see the actual proof of it being in the processor. So anyways, let's go back to the Miro board. All right. Obviously, these are just like some testimonials, right? Gabriel Andy from Impact.me, $1 million a year. Matthias, they got their first penthouse at 18. Oscar closing 3K deals, like 5K deals here. Devin with the 3K collected. Gabriel and Andy making $1 million a year. So these are just some of the testimonials that we have. But without further ado, let's basically just go into everything. So now going over my offer that one, I want you guys to pay attention here because this is something that a lot of people get wrong. Right? And they wonder why their offer doesn't work or why their ads aren't cooking. So my offer is we'll use our Business Trinity toolkit to help you get 15 full paying clients or you don't pay, right? And one of the most important things is that you guys have a gap bridge or like it completes the gap. So this is exactly what it means. People with their offer, they don't really complete a gap. So they only offer what they think their ICP wants rather than what they actually want. So for example, let's say you're flying from Florida to Hawaii, and that would be equivalent of you actually getting 15 full paying clients. So some people are offering what they think their client wants rather than what they actually want. So for example, they're going to start offering 100 leads guaranteed, right? It's going to take them to here. It's not actually what they want because they're not getting to that Hawaii point. So maybe they're flying from Florida all the way to Houston. So it does not complete the gap. You know, they're thinking about how can I make my offer better or how can I stand out? How can I make it an irresistible offer? They're going to have upgraded like 90 appointments in 90 days, right? They're just going to keep upgrading it, but they're not going to give the client what they actually want because they're not completing the gap. So that's the thing that most people get wrong. Your client wants to get to Hawaii. They don't want to get to California. They want to get to Hawaii. So offer them what they want, the end goal, which is the 15 full paying clients. So for example, if you're a fitness coach, instead of saying Asian men come use our weight loss program, you can be like, hey, Asian men lose 10 to 15 pounds in the next 45 days. That is the end goal. They can tangibly see the result, the end goal that they want in your offer, rather than saying like, hey, Asian men start doing like 20 sit-ups with me every day. So now that we have completed the gap, the unique mechanism, and the irresistible offer, we just need a risk reversal. The risk reversal is to make it a no-brainer, just to get rid of the risk, basically. It's as simple as that, but that's where we added or you don't pay. So that is our offer that one, and you guys might be thinking, hey, this is simple as heck. Like it is a very, very simple offer. And yeah, it is a very, very simple offer. But the reason why it works isn't just because the offer is good. There's a lot of things that we do on the back end, which I'm going to be covering later on in the video. I'm going to be showing you guys exactly how our ad creatives look like. That way you guys can actually know how to set them up and what the structure looks like. So these are what our ads look like. We literally had ChatGPT make them. We had ChatGPT saying, hey, 15 full paying clients guaranteed or you don't pay, right? Exactly like I mentioned. The one thing with your ad creatives is that you guys need to make it themed towards your niche or your target audience, or at least like directly call them out, right? So for example, we called out Christian agencies and coaches, but we also made it themed towards exactly who we were targeting. So this is the prompt that we used. Hey, ChatGPT, make a 1080 by 1080 ad creative using the offer. And very important, make sure that it is 1080 by 1080. The reason why we want to do that is because sometimes when we're having the ads, maybe it's a 916 ad, right? Something that looks like this. The call to action, or maybe your call out, or maybe your offer, or maybe when you're calling out your customer profile, sometimes some pop-ups, they tend to get in the way, but when you do 1080 by 1080, none of that will get in the way, and it's just going to fit perfectly. So we're going to make it niche themed or ICP themed and have a button in the ad that says learn more, and ask the ChatGPT prompt to be creative and unique. So basically it'll pop out something like this, right? And then what we want to do after is we're just going to say, hey, generate it again in a different format, in a different art style, in a different color theme, make it unique. And if it starts popping out ads that look very, very similar, all you have to do is just paste this prompt back into another completely different chat from the old one, and it'll generate something that's completely brand new. So we had a separate campaign for videos and statics. So this was my business partner. He was basically just holding up a cardboard, calling out exactly who our ICP was, going through testimonials and going through exactly what our unique mechanism was. Basically run you guys through exactly how you want to structure it. So you guys want to have separate campaigns for the video and static ads. So 40 to 50 different statics that you want to generate from ChatGPT. And if you guys are going to do video ads, you guys want to make 5 to 20 different video ads in different settings. That way you guys can test which one cooks the best for you. So for my video ads, we literally just had my business partner just hold up a cardboard box, calling out our ICP and just going through our offer. And that was literally it. And we just had it in different settings. Like we had it in a church, we had it in a balcony, we had it inside a room, we had it in a boardroom, basically just different settings. And that's how we did them. So now I'm going to be going over my ad structure and settings. And I want you guys to pay close attention to this because copy exactly. And the reason why is because there's a huge mistake that coaches make. They try to filter out prospects and leads before they even come in. Because the purpose of an ad is to get 100 people and then convert 100 people into 10 meetings. And out of those 10 meetings, you're going to get 1 to 2 clients, right? You guys don't have to worry about show up rate. We're going to be going over exactly how we get 100% show up rate. So literally going through this, right? I'll just be showing you exactly from A to Z how we set up the ads. So we just made it a lead campaign, right? So for the Facebook page, right? Just connect your page. For your performance goal, you guys want to maximize your number of leads. You guys don't have to worry about cost per result goal, value goals, nothing. So listen up. The old way that you guys used to run ads before Andromeda update came out in October of last year is you would have your Advantage Plus off, right? And you would set your ages to 18 through 65, and you would let the algorithm judge who was a good lead and who was not a good lead, right? It wouldn't look at the creative, but it would see from the leads that were filling out your form. So that's how it used to work. But now, since the Andromeda update came out, you want to have all the settings on and you want to have Advantage Plus on. The reason why is because your Facebook is going to be finding the right pockets for you. So it's going to be looking at the ad creatives, it's going to be looking at the call outs, and it's just going to find the right people off the bat instead of finding people from the form. So you guys want dynamic creative on. Very important you guys have that on so you can put multiple images inside a single ad. This is for you to test different ad statics. So now with the audience, you guys don't have to worry about audience as long as Advantage Plus is on, like I told you guys to. Location, United States, or whatever your area is. When you guys are selecting audience, don't have to worry about that. Placements, you do not have to worry about placements. Let Advantage Plus take care of that as well. So partnership ad off. Very, very simple, right? Turn on multi-advertiser ads and then press optimize campaign or optimize creative for each person, right? And then once you have those 50 creatives, what you want to do is just make 5 different ad sets and then put one ad underneath each ad set. And then all you have to do is just put 10 images inside each ad. So you press here, select images, and then just pop 10 into there and pop 10 into each of the different ads under each ad set that you guys make. So this is our structure for our ads. It's literally how we get like a $1 cost per lead. So now that you guys have my ad structure and settings, you guys know exactly how to structure it. So you're getting a ton of leads. How do we actually convert them? I got you. So pay attention closely because this is what matters. Doesn't matter how many leads you're getting. If you're not converting any, then you're not doing it right. So this is how our lead form works. And I'm going to, cycle back to the biggest mistake that people get wrong. It's trying to filter out prospects before they even come in. So you want to get 100 people and you want to convert those 100 people into 10 meetings. And then with those 10 meetings, you want to convert that into like around 1 to 2 clients. Worst case scenario. So literally what we do is like, hey there, fill out your info down below and we're going to text you how it works. People are antisocial. Just say text you how it works. You're not going to tell them that you're going to call them. So one point that I want to bring up, and this is very, very important, because a lot of you guys set the wrong expectation for yourself when you're setting up ads, when you're setting up people coming in. Qualified means that they have the potential to be a customer. They fall under your ideal customer profile. That does not mean how much money they have. That does not mean how long they've been in business. That does not mean how long they've been looking to get started. It does not mean any of that. As long as they have the potential to be a customer, they are a lead. So what a lot of people do wrong is that they add so many questions on the lead form to the point where like their cost per lead is like over $30, right? You don't want that. You want it to be frictionless. As long as you've done the offer creation right and that you're actually calling them out on your ad creative, you should be fine. What we have is get in touch, enter your full name, email, and phone number. That is literally it. And then once they fill out their form, what they're going to do is they have the option to book now. So either they're going to be a lead or a direct booking. So what the automations look like on our back end is like this. So they get the Facebook form submitted, and then it creates a new opportunity, which is assigned to a user, and then it's sent to a webhook. The webhook is what the Zapier automation is, in case you want to send it over to Discord, which we do. So for the email, this is the email that is sent over to the prospect, to the lead that just filled out, and then SMS that is sent over to them. So this is exactly what it's going to look like on our end. Very, very simple, right? You're going to have a human setter on the back end, right? You're going to see first name, last name, phone number, email, source. It's from Facebook, right? If they do a direct booking, they're going to go to our calendar page. They're going to book in for a call, and then they're going to be answering a few questions. Their name is John Lopez. Their business stage is 0 to 5K a month, like business bottleneck, what they're able to invest, credit score, do they have at least $2,000? Can you 100% attend? What time zone they're in? The reason why we have questions not on the lead form, but on the calendar page is because for the lead form, we can have a setter call them to book the ad appointment. However, if it's a direct booking, they've already booked the appointment. So that way, when the closer actually calls them or the setter calls them, you already have all of the information that they need. So this is what it looks like when a lead comes in. This is the message that they get. Hey, is this John? Yeah, literally it. Just want to be as human as possible. That way, your setter can call them within the first 5 minutes. Very important. Why 5 minutes? There's a study done. Pickup rate increases by 300% compared to if you call from 5 minutes versus 30 minutes. So you want to call within the first 5 minutes. How does it look like for a direct booking? This is what it looks like here. So a new appointment creative, and then they get an email. Hey, Eduardo, it's Tuda with Aave Crew. You're booked in, but quick little challenge for you. I'm going to be calling you soon on my personal number, but if you beat me and text me first, I'm going to give you a gift that I'm sure you'll like. And then literally put your phone number in there or put your closer's phone number in there. And that incentivizes your direct booking to literally text your closer. So your closer is going to call them within the first 5 minutes, and they're also going to get a text from the lead. Perfect. So now this is a very, very important part that I'm going to cover. It is a nurture-based setting process. Without this part, you guys are not going to have any of your sales calls show up. And if they do show up, they're not going to close because they're not convinced. They don't know who you are. They don't like you. There is no point to even set up the ads in the first place if you're not doing this nurture-based setting process correctly. So I want you guys to pay very, very close attention here. People make emotional decisions and they justify it with logic. Their main goal is literally just to book that appointment. You don't want to do that. What you want to do in the appointment setting process is you want to build desire, but specifically with the intent to help out as much as possible. So if your setter is doing this correctly, you're building desire and you're actually helping out as much as possible. You will not have to worry about show up rate, and they're going to start consuming your nurture content, which is exactly what I'm going to be getting into right now. So in order to build proper desire, this is the framework that our setter used. And I want you guys to take this exactly. So we have a very, very simple opener. Hey, is this name? It's just Tuda here from XYZ, right? You clicked on one of our ads talking about whatever offer, right? And then you get into the conversation. So the setter's going to get a rundown of their situation, right? With the vehicle, like what they're doing to make progress, like what is the actual progress that they're making, and pain points from actually using this vehicle. Your setter's going to be finding a pain point, and once they actually have that pain point, rather than booking an appointment, what they're going to do is help out as much as possible. So they're going to send them a specific resource that is going to solve that pain point that they have. So what they're going to specifically say is like, would it be helpful if I sent you over this resource for you to look at? It's going to help with XYZ pain point, and just make sure that you don't run into that potential future pain that you might have. So that is the specific framing that we take. So if your setter is doing this right in the prospect's mind, they're going to love you because you're sending them literal resources just for free on exactly how to solve that. Like your setter listened there, he asked questions like he cared, and he's trying to solve their issue literally right on the call. It's like a therapist right then and there. They're going to be like, yeah, that'd be super duper helpful. So once you send that video over to them, right? That is when you finally book the appointment. And you want to be assumptive, like, hey, and by the way, like, does tomorrow, like Monday, 3 p.m. work for you? Kind of continue this chat, see if this is something that we can even help with, right? Given that, like, you watch the video and it's freaking amazing, you like it. You already have an appointment with us just to see if we can help even further. Awesome. Just book the appointment then and there, and then boom, you have an appointment. So we have a checklist. The setter has called within the first 5 minutes and created desire. The setter is going to next transfer trust by putting that prospect in a group chat with the closer or whoever the closer is, right? The setter is going to ensure that the lead has resources to watch to implement the 7-11-4 rule. So what the 7-11-4 rule is, they watch 7 hours of your content, 11 different pieces of content, and across 4 different platforms. So we want to essentially take that cold lead and combine that with organic. Something that is organic, like someone that would click on your YouTube video. So you're going to create these videos and you're going to combine these two. So in just a bit, I'm going to be explaining exactly how you can set up those resources to make an organic lead from a cold ad. So just so you guys know, right, there's a problem and you're bridging that problem with the literal video that you have to the goal. Your setter is going to book it in on behalf of the prospect on the phone, and make sure your setter only books it in for today and tomorrow, right? No day after tomorrow. Ensure that the show up rate is high. Right? If you book in 7 days, they might forget. So in order to make the group chat, this is what the group chat looks like. Very, very simple. I'll just go over this very, very quickly. Hey, Britton, it's Kenny from Agency Ascension, Ave Crew, whatever your company name is. We just got off the phone. It's my personal line. So the other number in here is Tuda. You'll be speaking with him later about helping you solve XYZ pain point and then helping you get a solution. And then what the closer is going to do is he's just going to send over a voice message, right? And he's going to further hype up that video. You're like, what's up, David? I saw that you scheduled in a call for tomorrow. I know that you did talk to Kenny. I know you talked to Arthur or whoever your setter is, and just hype up the video again. Like, I know he sent you over those videos. Make sure you actually give those a watch. He kind of gave me a run through of your situation, but it's going to be very helpful if you give that a watch, right? Just to make sure that we're on the same page for tomorrow as well. So now everything in the checklist is done. Boom. You got the setter calling within the first 5 minutes. So the trust has been transferred between the setter and the closer, right? The setter's ensuring that the resources are actually going to be watched because he's hyped it up. He's built a gap. He's helped out as much as possible. And the closer is going to send a voice memo, and he's also going to call the lead and basically make sure that they actually watch the video. So you want to make sure that these videos are very, very good, which leads me to my next topic, the pre-closing resources. This is super important. So I want to preface, right? Automations are only like 3 to 5% of show up rate. If you actually build proper desire, it's like 95 to 97% of that show up rate. So what you're going to do is you're going to find that actual pain point that they have. So maybe it's like a pain point like bad leads. Maybe they don't have direction. They're bad at sales. They're bad at marketing. Or maybe there are certain questions and limiting beliefs that a lot of people have in your niche. So you want to handle those. So you're going to make specific videos just for that. You're going to make at least like 6 different videos just targeting pain points, and you're going to make them as detailed as possible, as informational as possible. So now that you have all of the videos to send over to them, like all the resources to build that trust and authority, what we want to do is we want to set up a next step page. So basically what a next step page is basically answering any frequently asked questions and where the testimonials are going to be. So it's on top of the YouTube video and the resources that you send over to them. You send over a next step page, which is all the questions that they need to know about the program, they need to know about your company, they need to know about you, is on there. So 1, it's going to confirm the email invite for the appointment that your setter booked in on their behalf. And 2, it's going to increase the show up rate. And then 3, it's actually going to help them read the nurture emails. So it's just going to set expectation and watch the FAQ videos. That way they come onto the call fully knowledgeable. They know who you are and they know that you can help because of the YouTube videos. They already see you as an authority. They know that you're an expert in the field. So it's basically just going to be answering like the program guidelines, worst case scenario, your mission, like who you don't want, maybe the guarantee explained, maybe refunds, basically go through all of that. And then after, at the bottom of the page, you're just going to be blasting them with a bunch of testimonials. So those 2 things, nurture-based setting process and the pre-closing resources, that is exactly how we get a lead, a cold lead, to turn into someone that comes onto the call. They like who you are. They know what you do. They're on the same page. They see you as an authority. They know they need help. Their objections are already pre-handled, like, because literally every objection, every problem that they might have has already been solved because they've watched so much of your videos that just has been helping them over and over and over again. So you don't even need to be good at sales. All you need to do is just have the right structure and copy this exactly. So what does my team breakdown look like? You guys might think like, do you have a 40-man team under you? No, I have like 3 people in this company, like aside from me. There's only like 4 people in this company. It's very, very lean. So what that looks like is it's me, closers, and fulfillments, and appointment setter. That is literally it. There is nothing else. I've just outsourced myself. The team is super lean. So what that looks like is we have appointment setters. They're US based, they're fluent English, and they're on commission basis. So 5% on cash collected for the appointment setters off the meetings that they book. For closers, they're US based as well, fluent in English, and it's around 8 to 12% on cash collected. So for us, it's 10. So for example, let's say they close a $10,000 deal, they're going to get $1,000 for that deal closed. So for fulfillment, because obviously I can't be answering questions like every minute of the day, I have customer success managers. CSMs, they have variable based pay. So it's $150 per month per client, and we get 10% of our rev share from our clients. So if the CSM is properly answering the questions or leading them to the right resources and basically holding them accountable, they're going to start making progress, right? So what that actually looks like is if a client hits $100,000 a month, that CSM is going to make $1,000 to $2,000 with the base and the rev share. Like at 20 clients, they're going to be making $3,000 a month, and between $2,000 to $40,000 a month from just 20 clients. Say they have 35 clients, they're going to be making a base of $5,250 a month, literally like $3,500 to $70,000 a month just from holding the clients accountable, right? We want to make sure our team is fed good. So you might be asking, okay, now that I know who's on your team, like how do I actually structure it? Like what does the fulfillment actually look like at scale? If I were to have a bunch of clients, like when I do start closing a bunch of deals, I got you. So everything that I just showed you on how to scale your coaching offer is like literally exactly our fulfillment. Like it's the same thing that we use. So if you can just copy this for yourself, like you can apply it to another offer and just like charge thousands for it. So literally just copy this. So what I don't want you guys to do is, as the CEO, you do not want to be setting leads and nurturing leads. You don't want to have a full sales calendar, and you don't want to have a bunch of clients under you, because yeah, the costs are going to be really low, right? You're not going to be having to pay anybody. You're going to be doing everything manually. However, you're going to be working 10 to 12 hours every single day. You're going to have tons of work hours, right? You're going to have tons of stress. And because you're setting, nurturing leads, you have a full sales calendar, how do you think you're going to have the time to even make sure you can answer your clients and make sure you can even double down on fulfillment? You can't. Everybody only has 24 hours a day. So you're going to have a bunch of mad clients. So this is what I don't want you guys to do. So this is what's going to help you have little work hours, maybe work like 2 to 3 hours a day like me, have like little to no stress, and just have a bunch of happy clients under you. So what this structure is going to look like is you as the CEO, you're going to have multiple CSMs under you, right? And they're going to be taking care of the clients, making sure they're held accountable, they're doing the proper jobs. And all you really need to do is just talk to them every single day, right? They're going to give you updates. Maybe you hop on a meeting with your CSMs every day and they just give you a rundown of everything that's going on. Now you know everything that's going on. Boom. So for the sales side of things, you're going to have a sales manager taking care of the closer and setter. And your closer is going to take that full sales calendar off your hands, and he's going to be calling them, qualifying them, nurturing them, and closing them. Like it's not even closing actually. If they've done the proper nurture process and their prospects coming on, they know who you are, they like what you do, they like your offer, they know that you can help, and they're ready to pay you, you've done the closing. Your closer is just a cashier. So yeah, like I should write cashier here, like have a setter and a cashier. So you're gonna have a sales manager taking care of those two things. You're gonna have more costs than before. However, you're gonna be making a lot more money. You're gonna have a lot less work hours, a lot less stress, and just more happy clients. So this is the structure that you guys want to use. So the reality is I just gave you guys everything, like every tool you need, like how to nurture, how it works, how to set it up, but I would still beat you guys any day. Because the thing is, action and implementation is the only thing that is going to work. You guys know this. 1,000 of you guys are going to click. 100 of you guys are maybe going to watch halfway through. 10 of you guys are going to finish the video and be like, hey, I'm going to implement this like next week. But then there's going to be 1 to 3 of you who I know, you guys are killers. You guys are just going to get to work right away. You guys know that you just have to do action and implement it right away. So this is my message for you 1 to 3 people. I want to help you. But not you, but like the past Tuda, who he was stuck at 1 to 3 clients. Like he couldn't grow past that. He was working in the business. He wasn't working on the business. He couldn't split time between clients, acquisition, and actually scaling. So he was wearing all 3 hats at once. He just thought like, I have to just get better at sales. I have to get better at closing to actually grow the business, which is not even the case at all. You don't need to be good at sales, just nurture properly. And finally, he kept seeing people that he knew did not deserve to win keep winning. And that pissed him off. So why do I actually want to help you guys? It's because I understand, like, outside of money, outside of scaling a business, there's a bunch of things that we want to do with our life, right? We want to help the people around us. We want to maybe retire our parents, or maybe we just want to live a fulfilling life, helping and guiding and coaching people in the right direction to change their lives as well. So like I said, I really only want to take those 1 to 3 people like who are actually locked in for this year, people who are actually serious. So if you guys want me to help you, book a call in. It's in the description, and I look forward to seeing you guys on there. Peace out.